What's going on, everybody? Hello, hello, hello. It's your boy, Cody Sperber, the Clever Investor here, and welcome to my live stream. If you're watching this live or as a replay, thank you for being here. As everybody jumps on, I want to have a powerful conversation to set you guys off on an amazing week. It's almost springtime here in Arizona. It feels like springtime, so I'm fired up and excited to absolutely dominate this week. And I'm excited that you're here. Now, first off, the people that follow me on social media, you guys are the action takers. You guys are the 1%ers. You guys are the people that want more out of life. And the only reason you follow me is because you want more joy, more happiness, more money, more freedom, more control. So I applaud you for that. Thank you for being here. And let's dive on in. I want to talk to you guys today. And first off, if you get something from this powerful message, don't be one of those people that just sits on the sidelines and doesn't interact. Show me the little thumbs right now. Let me know where you guys are from. Type out in the comment section where you guys are streaming in from. What's up, Justin? What's up, Ryan? Good morning, everybody. What up, Roger? What up, Gary? For those of you that were asking, I did have knee surgery last week. My knee is getting better. Yeah, good times. I wish it was something heroic, but I ended up tearing my meniscus playing tag at the park with the kids. It's when you know you're getting old. All right, so let's dive on in. Check this out. I want to have a conversation, and this is really going to be geared towards my older followers. If you're younger, this still applies, but this really is a conversation between anybody, 35 plus and older. And this is a conversation about change. So, did you know that 1 in 3 Americans, and think about this stat for a second because it's really shocking, 1 in 3 Americans are unhappy most of the time. 1 in 3. They float through life unhappy. They settle for unhappiness. They settle for this state. They blame everything around them for their current situation, the taxes, the prices, the politicians, their friends, the school teacher that never gave them a shot. They become professional, unhappy adults. Maybe this is you. Maybe you know somebody that's like this. And when I heard that stat, it was really shocking, and it's really frustrating to me because when you find yourself floating through life and you're settling for a life where you know there's more out there for you, you know there's a whole nother level, but you can't figure out how to get there, whether it's your finances or your love life or your relationships. It's really frustrating because I've been around successful people. I know what it's like to unlock that next level and to blast through a lot of those pains and those fears and the things that cause a lot of good people to settle. And here's one of the major reasons that good people are held back. And I want to ask you this question. What if you could start over? What if you could create a new experience? What if you can shift your tracks from where you currently are over to a whole new you? Like if you had a magic lamp where you can just snap your fingers and a new you was born, what would you do differently? How would you act? What would you dress like? What would your bank account look like? What would your marriage look like? Would you spend more time with your friends and family? What would the whole new you be like? What would the energy that you're putting out to the world be like and feel like? Life is about change. It's the one thing that's constant. It's guaranteed. Seasons change, your body changes, conditions in your environment is constantly changing. And when you're young, you expect change. When you're young, you look forward to it. The world is like this big, giant, exciting opportunity. And if you line up 100 19-year-olds and you ask them, do you want to be wealthy? Do you want to be happy? Do you want to be successful? Do you want to do something meaningful with your life? Do you want to be impactful and give back? All 100 of them would say, hell yeah. But what happens? As you get older, you start to lose sight of the importance of embracing change. All of a sudden, you start almost like resenting it. You start settling. You start fighting back against it. I mean, think about it. How many of us, especially, I just turned 40 this year. I know for me, I never understood when my parents used to say, well, back in my day, we were like this. And I always used to think, every generation has always said that. But what happens is you start to hold tight to the things that are comfortable. You start to hold tight to the things that are more guaranteed, that are more safe. And the reason is risks become scarier. Bills start piling up. You all of a sudden are responsible for a family. You get comfortable in routines. And all of a sudden change is a problem. Change is scary. Change feels super uncomfortable. So you start fighting back against it instead of embracing it like when you were younger. Over time, what happens is unhappiness starts to swell up within you because you're not feeling progress anymore. It's a lack of feeling progress. And it's our own faults because we're actually sabotaging our own opportunities and we're missing out on a lot of great things because we're scared of change. It becomes like this global feeling, and it starts really small in the beginning, but as the years go by, it starts to become global, and you aren't really able to put your finger on exactly what is causing the unhappiness. Do you guys understand what I'm saying right there? Like all of a sudden, you just wake up one day and you're like, shit, what happened? I was so optimistic with life. I was so sure that I was going to go out and do something powerful. And yet here I am day after day grinding. And I can't put my finger on when that moment was when it actually I got off track and I'm not quite clear on what I do to get back on track. But it's like I'm here now. And I'm settling for this way of life. And if you look forward a year, 5 years, or 10 years, you can almost visualize you're going to be the exact same place or worse off than you currently are. And that's a scary thought, but yet we ignore it. We pretend it doesn't exist. We almost live in this imaginary world where we think things are going to get better. The key, and I want to give you the formula to shifting out of this current state over into the new you. It's not that complicated, but sometimes it's the simple things in life that we overlook. And when you hear it, you're going to be like, oh shit, duh. Of course I should be doing these things. But like all things that can benefit you, it just starts with hearing it, internalizing it, then owning it, and then doing something about it. And so I hope this conversation helps shift you from where you are right now to where you want to go. And like I said, if you get something from this, leave a comment, like this video, and share it with a friend. Step number 1 is identifying the one thing. It's as simple as that. There might be 50 things that you want to change, but what's the one thing that's really bothering you? What's the one thing that you can put your finger on right now and say, you know what? I think I'd feel a lot better if this one thing was different. What's the one thing in your life that just in the back of your mind, it's just always there? Is it, I hate my boss? I'd love to get a new career or a new job? Is it, I'm tired of being overweight? I hate the way I feel. I hate my lack of energy. I used to be so enthusiastic and have so much energy, and now I just feel sluggish and slow. Is it, I can't stand the weather? I've been complaining and bitching about the winters here year after year after year, yet I do nothing about it. What's the one thing that you would love, if you can snap your fingers and change, what's the one thing that you would love to change? Once you identify the one thing, the next thing that you do is identify the contrast. If it's I hate the winters, where would you go if you didn't have anything in your way? There was no challenges or obstacles. You could just literally make it happen. Where would you go? What would that feel like? What would your life look like living in that place? Once you identify the one thing, the next step is to identify the contrast. And then you have to ask yourself, why haven't I done anything about it? And you need to make a list of all the challenges that are getting in your way. Is it a lack of money? Is it a lack of time? Is it fear? Is it a relationship? I know for me, sometimes I find myself doing things for everybody else around me, always trying to make everybody else happy, allowing everybody else around me to steer my ship. And in the process, I neglect doing things for myself. I sacrifice my own happiness to make other people happy. Do you ever do that? Are you one of those people that you're constantly juggling everybody else's challenges and situations and issues, trying to solve everybody else's problems, yet your own challenges are piling up? I want you to make a list of all the things that are perceived to be in your way. Isolate the things that you can control and the ones that you can't. When you get this crystal clear, when you're like, this is exactly the one thing that I want to change, here's the contrast to that one thing. This is exactly what my life would look like if that one thing was solved. Here's a list of all the challenges and hurdles and perceived issues that are in the way from me getting what I want. Then isolate which ones are in your control and which ones are out of your control. And you have to be brutally honest. And this is really freaking tough because most of us bullshit. Most of us, and I'm just as bad at doing this as anybody else. Most of us have a fragile ego. And nowadays with social media and everybody all up in everybody's business, we're worried and scared of what everybody else around us is going to think of us if we get freaking real. If we take a picture without any makeup on. It's not the perfect lighting and the perfect background and, it's 500 takes before we get the perfect smile. We're scared of being judged. And I get it, because in a world where everybody is judging everybody right now, it's hard. And only those brave enough to want to change, to want a better version of you to come out, are willing to put ourselves out there publicly and face getting ridiculed, or face getting judged, or face having everybody give us their opinions. When you get brutally honest with your strengths and your weaknesses, that's the first time when you can finally step back and say, you know what, I'm going to create a real plan here. And I'm going to get clarity and I'm going to write it down, and it's going to be a real plan. I'm going to call it my 5-step plan of action. And I'm going to identify 5 steps to getting what I want. And once I write it down, and once I clearly identify specifically what I want and what I'm going to do about it, and the things I can control and the ones that I can't, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to enroll an accountability partner. I'm going to phone a friend. and I'm going to bring them in on my plan, and I'm going to have them help me by holding me accountable. That's what a real friend does. A real friend doesn't judge you. A real friend will get behind you and support you and hold you accountable. And who knows, you might even enroll them into stepping their game up just through proximity, just through seeing you elevate your energy. And once you enroll that friend, that's when you're going to finally start having the confidence and the courage to take some action steps. And that's all it is. It's realizing that new habits take time, that it's like as simple as one step in front of the other. It's day in and day out grinding. And it's screwing stuff up. It's not always start here, go here. It's not a straight line. A lot of times, you have to take a few steps back. You have to hit some walls, get under pressure, sweat a little. Put yourself way outside your comfort zone. If you were already able to do it without being uncomfortable, without being scared, then you would have already done it. The reality is the next level of you is right on the other side of those failures, of that fear, of that pain. And I'm not saying anything you don't already know. You already know this. But this is a great reminder to step back and say, you know what? I might be 40, 45, 50 years old right now, but I don't have to accept that I'm going to live my life like this forever. I don't have to settle. I don't have to be average. I don't have to be unhappy. And there's going to be a lot of moments where you take some steps back and you get pissed off and you internalize the mistakes that you made, and then you recommit, and then you take another step forward. And that's how massive change happens. That's how you shift to the new you and create a new experience. Real estate changed my life because it was an industry and a path to becoming financially free. Once I got money out of the way through my real estate investing, and it wasn't easy, it was the hardest thing I ever done. Building relationships with all of these people, learning a new skill, staying consistent, and it didn't happen in a week. I made no money my first 9 months, zero. But I stayed at it. I stayed consistent. I kept putting myself out there. And eventually, all those little seeds I was planting, all that information I was gathering, everything finally, once I got a good mentor, once I found some systems and processes that worked for me, things started to fall in place. And eventually I started making some money, feeling some progress. And over a long period of time, I finally mastered my skill. And I started making a lot of money. And once I cleared money out of the way, and I was able to pay off the bills and pay down the debt, and start living life on my own terms, not having somebody else dictate what I was going to wear and what I was worth and when I had to show up. Start taking back control. It was only then that I realized that I was empowered to be the Cody that I always knew I wanted to be. So maybe for you, a career change or getting into real estate is your first most important step. And I want to help you with that. You know, I know there's a lot of educators out there. There's a lot of gurus. It seems like everybody nowadays flips one house and comes out with a real estate course. You know, it bothers me because there's a lot of bullshit out there, and there's a lot of whack teachers and really just lame courses and stuff. But that's nothing new. When I got into the game, I bought a ton of BS courses that had huge missing pieces of information, and it totally screwed me all up. But there are a few good educators out there like myself that really truly have mastered the game and want to help you, that have a community that you can plug into. You don't have to be out there on an island by yourself. Clever Investor is that source, I believe, that is the best source in the game to help you become successful. You know, and I'm taking on some mentoring students right now. So if you've gotten an email from me about, you know, being mentored by us, let me know if that's something that interests you. Fill out the mentoring application and come, you know, have a conversation with us. It's at that point, it's not a commitment, it is just a conversation. But I believe that if we come in and make you a priority and we're a good fit, that your whole life will change and you'll be able to shift over to a path that empowers you to become the best version of you. So, you know, I'll have my team put our mentoring application link in the comments. We'll pin it to the top. Fill it out. And, you know, let's have that conversation. Besides that, I hope you got something from this, because it's never too late to start. That's the core of this message. You don't have to settle. You don't have to accept where you currently are. And you definitely don't have to live your life unhappy. You're welcome, Mike. What do you guys think of this message? Drop me a comment down below. What do you guys think? Mike says, great message this morning. Thank you. Quitting my job, getting into real estate full time. Roger says, love it, Cody. Alex, you're the best. Thanks for hanging out. You know, these conversations, whether you're watching this on Facebook or you're watching this on YouTube, I have these conversations because I want you guys to understand that it's never going to be as simple as, you know, you just hear a great idea or you wish it into existence. There has to be a plan that is created. You have to step back and think about it in its simplest terms, because if it's complicated or overwhelming, you're not going to do it. But the reality is, it's a formula. Once you break it down into those bite-sized pieces, any of us, me, you, or anybody watching this, can take action on this information and go out there and dominate. And you deserve it. And there's talents and skills that you hold that are unique to you that the world needs right now. And if you're sitting on the sidelines holding that all back in, or too scared to ever put yourself out there, you're going to end up going through your entire life sitting on the sidelines. You're going to become that old person that is bitter and regretful and frustrated and broke, and you're going to be a burden on your family, and you're going to be a burden on society and on the government and on taxpayers. And that's not what you want. That's not what you deserve, and that's truly avoidable. But it takes you stepping back and hearing what I said today and having the guts to do something about it. Robert says, I like simple. Alex says, last week I closed 2 deals. I have another one under contract. Boom, baby. That's huge. Yeah, we got a couple good ones under contract last week. I'm loving real estate right now. The market is crazy. Crazy. For people that know, you got to know how to market. You have to know how to get your message out there to the sellers, get out to the best deals first, beat your competition to those deals. When you're able to get there fast, that's when you can lock good deals up and dominate. So, good job, dude. I think you have more engagement with people who want to start real estate. Probably. Cool. All right. So my team just pinned the mentoring application to the top of the comments. So yeah, you know, all good things. Hopefully I hear from you. My team, we're only doing it for a couple more days, and we're going to shut down the mentoring application for now. We've taken on some really great students, and I'm excited to start working with them and have my team help them. We're going to dominate this year. Let's go, baby. All right, you're welcome, Wayne. You're welcome, everybody. Thank you guys for watching. If you just jumped on, go back to the beginning, watch this conversation in its entirety. That way you don't miss a thing. For everybody else, thank you guys for watching. Like this video, engage with this video, share this video, and I'll see you guys next time. I'm Cody Sperber, the Clever Investor, signing off for now. Take care, comb your hair, Sperber out.
Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Hey, listen, while you're here, why don't you click the tab in the upper right-hand corner and grab my new book, How to Flip Houses with Little No Money Down. It's a step-by-step guide on how I got wealthy in real estate and how you can too. Hope it helps. Oh, don't forget to watch the 2 videos also.